Good morning students, welcome here in your social science class. As you all of you know that we are discussing chapter number 3 from your history ruling the countryside, and this is your part 2 of this chapter. In previous video lecture in part 1 we have already discussed some topic just like revenue for the company, then after what's the need to and how to improve the agriculture that time in Bengal, then problems, also some problem behind permanent settlement. Two new systems also introduced by East India Company that time in Bengal to improve the agriculture, which was the first one, Mehalwari settlement, okay fine, and which was the second one, the Monroe system. It is also known as Ryotwar or Ryotwari system. Today we will discuss some other topics also of this chapter and start crops for Europe. The British also realized that the countryside could not only yield revenue. Now Britishers also realized that कि हम सिर्फ revenue के अलावा भी यहाँ से so much we can also gain. It could also grow the crops. Which things? Yes, it could also grow the crops that Europe required. Which crops? Yes, those crops who required, Europe required. So by the late 18th century, which century? By the late 18th century, the company was also trying to expand the cultivation of opium and indigo. Here the word come opium. Opium means, just look at here. It means a bitter brownish, which one? Yes, a British brownish addictive narcotic drug that consists of the dried latex obtained from immature seed capsule of the opium poppy. Just here you can see the picture, this one also. Then the next one is indigo. Which one? Indigo. Indigo also want to company, okay, to expand. So here you can see the picture of the indigo. Fine. Now what about the other things? So in the century and a half that followed, the British pursued or forced cultivator in various parts of India to produce other crops also. That time Britishers also what they wanted to grow some crops. So just like jute in Bengal, where? Yes, jute in Bengal, you can say that tea in Assam, okay fine. Which one? Yes, tea in Assam. Then sugar, where? Yes, sugar cane in the United Provinces. Here the United Provinces means Uttar Pradesh. Which one? Yes, United Provinces means here the Uttar Pradesh. Then wheat in Punjab. Which crop? Yes, wheat in Punjab. And then cotton in Maharashtra. Which crop? Yes, cotton in Maharashtra. And which one? Rice in Madras. So these crops also Britishers forced to cultivate that time in various parts of India. So what? How was this done? The British used a variety of methods. Yes, that time East India Company, the Britishers used a variety of methods to expand the cultivation of crops that they needed. जो उनको crops की need थी, वो चाहते थे कि वही crop जो है cultivate हो, farmers जो है वही crop जो है cultivate हो. Fine. So let's take a closer look of the story of one such crop, one such method of production, about the indigo. फाइन, कि इंडिगो जो है आपका कैसे उन्होंने उसको कौन से मेथड दे टुक दैट टाइम. Now student, just look at here. Does color have a history? Is it? Or you can say that about the color history. So as you can see here, an image 1 and image 2. We will compare both these two image. So just first look at the first one, the image on the left. Yes, which one? Image on the left. This one, image 1, Kalamkari print. Which print? Kalamkari print, and created by weavers of Andhra Pradesh in India. Where? Andhra Pradesh in India. And on the right, yes, this one. On the right is a Froller cotton print designed and produced by William Morris. whom designed and produced by William Morris, a famous poet and artist of 19th century, and were in Britain. Fine. So what about, there is one thing common in these two prints, and both use a rich blue color. Which color? Yes, rich blue color, commonly called indigo. Yes, what it called? Indigo. So what do you understand by indigo? A very dark blue color. So do you know how this color was produced? So the blue that you see in these prints was produced from a plant. क्या होता है आपका इंडिगो का एक बेटा? इंडिगो का एक आपका प्लांट होता है. Fine. So it is likely that the blue dye used in the Morris print in the 19th century Britain was manufactured from indigo plants and cultivated in India. For India was the biggest supplier of indigo. Who was the biggest supplier of indigo? India. Yes, so the India was the biggest supplier of indigo in the world at that time. Now see the plant of indigo. Okay, fine, this is the plant of indigo. Okay, the blue, which one? Yes, blue. And a plant is used for which thing? To make a dye. Blue dye use करने के लिए use किया जाता है. Now students, just look at here the next one. Why the demand for Indian indigo? The indigo plant grows primarily in the tropics. Where? Yes, in tropical region you can say that tropical climate is best for whom? Best for indigo plant. But by the 13th century, which century? By the 13th century, Indian indigo was being used by clothes manufacturers. Clothes manufacturers were in Italy and in France and Britain to dye clothes. So, however, you can say that only small amount of Indian indigo reached the European country and its price was very high. So, that's why one another plant also, wood. Okay, that's why that plant was pale and dull as compared to indigo, because indigo produce a very rich blue color, whereas the dye from which dye? Yes, which plant? Wood. It was very pale and dull. So European cloth manufacture dependent to which thing? Another plant, wood, to make violet and blue dye. So being a plant of the temperate zone, wood was more easily available in the Europe. Wood जो है more easily हो जाता था आपका यूरोप में available. It was grown in the northern Italy, southern France and in parts of Germany and Britain. But if we talk about as compared to indigo, all of you know about indigo produce a rich blue color as compared to wood, because wood dye from wood plant produce that color was very pale and dull. So worried by the competition from the indigo, wood producers in Europe pressurized their government to ban the import of indigo. उन्होंने कहा गवर्नमेंट को प्रेशराइज करा कि जो इंडिगो आ रहा है इंडिया से वो बैन कर दो. बट हाउएवर इंडिगो प्लांटेशन केम अप इन मैनी पार्ट्स ऑफ नॉर्दर्न अमेरिका एंड मैक्सिको. उन्होंने कहा जो बाहर से आ रहा है हम उसको बंद कर देंगे और हम अपनी कंट्री में उसका प्लांटेशन करेंगे. ओके, प्लांटेशन मीन्स अ लार्ज फार्म ऑपरेटेड बाय अ प्लांटर एम्प्लॉइंग वेरियस फॉर्म्स ऑफ फोर्स लेबर, एंड प्लांटेशंस आर एसोसिएटेड विद द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ कॉफ़ी जस्ट लाइक शुगर केन, जस्ट लाइक टोबैको, टी एंड कॉटन ऑल्सो. सो उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया कि अब हम अपनी कंट्री में मैनी पार्ट जहाँ नॉर्दर्न अमेरिका एंड मैक्सिमो में स्टार्ट करेंगे इंडिगो का प्लांटेशन. बट ड्यूरिंग द वॉर ऑफ पीस रीजन एंड एबोलिशन ऑफ स्लेवरी इन फ्रेंच कॉलोनीज में स्लेवरी का जो एबोलिशन हुआ, दैट्स वाई ब्रिटिश को भी अब डिपेंड होना पड़ा. ब्रिटिश ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड डिपेंडिंग ऑन द इंडिया फॉर द कल्टिवेशन एक्सपेंशन ऑफ इंडिगो. So that's why increased demand of indigo also came because of the heavy industrialization of Britain. काफ़ी industrialization of Britain की वजह से भी indigo की जो demand है काफ़ी heavy. To fulfill the demand of indigo, British used their colonies in tropical region and mainly in Africa and India as the availability. Which one? Yes, Africa and India. If land and cheap labor were available. And from the last decades of the 18th century. If we talk about the last decade of the 18th century, indigo cultivation in Bengal expanded rapidly and Bengal indigo came to dominate the world. पूरी वर्ल्ड को dominate करना start कर दिया. In 1788 you can say that only about the 30%. If we talk about the 1788, okay, that time only 30% of the indigo imported into the Britain but was from India. But if we talk about the 1810, which year, if we talk about the 1810, the proportion had gone up to the 95%. Then now student, just look at here. The next one is how was indigo cultivated, or you can say that methods of indigo cultivation. There were two main methods of indigo cultivation. How many main methods? Two. The first one is niche method and the second one is Reuti method. Now first look at the niche. Within the system of niche cultivation, okay, planters bought the land or rented it from zamindar. Who? यस, जो प्लांटर्स थे वो लैंड को ब्रॉड करते थे और रेंट में लेते थे फ्रॉम ज़मींदार एंड प्रोड्यूस इंडिगो बाय डायरेक्टली एम्प्लॉइंग हायर्ड लेबर. फ्रॉम whom? Yes, by directly employing hired labor. And if we talk about the Reuti, it means under the Reuti system the planter forced the Reut means here जो वो peasant थे, जो वहाँ के किसान थे, okay, to sign the contract in Hindi you can say that सट्टा. Who forced? Yes, planters जो थे, planters forced the Reut to sign the contract सट्टा for growing indigo on at least 25% of the area. How much area? 25% of the area under his holding. Okay. So these are the two methods. Which method? Niche and Reuti. These are the two methods of these are the two methods of indigo cultivation. Now students, just look at here. We will discuss some questions also related to the topic. So just look at the question number 1. What were the two major systems of indigo cultivation in India? Yes, the two major system of indigo cultivation in India, niche system, which is the first one, niche system of cultivation, and which is the second one, Reuti system of cultivation. Okay, now just look at the next question. What were the main features of the niche system of cultivation? So here you can see in the niche system of indigo cultivation, the planter produced. Who produced? Planter produced indigo in land that he directly owned. जो land उनका directly owned. He either bought the land with thing, या तो वो bought करे land और rent. Fine. It from other zamindar and produce indigo by directly employing hired labor. So main feature you can say that in the niche system of indigo cultivation, the who produce? Planter. The planter produced indigo in land that he directly owned. He either bought the land or rented it from other zamindar and produced indigo by directly employing hired labor. Now just look at the next question here. As you can see, what were the main features of the Reuti system of cultivation? Reut means peasants, kisan. Fine. So under the Reuti system, which system? Under the Reuti system, the planter forced the Reuts. Reuts को force करते थे. It means peasants to sign a contract. Contract means you can say that satta. Okay. The village headman was also forced. Who also forced? The village headman was also forced to sign an agreement. Which, yes, contract or agreement, you can say that on the behalf of the Reut. The peasants received a loan from the planters to cultivate their land. From whom the peasant received loan? From planters. For what? To cultivate their land. Due to this, the peasants were forced to cultivate indigo in 25% of their land. How much percent? 25% of the land. The peasant received seeds also. Which one? Yes, the peasant received seeds also and plough for the cultivation from the planter. They had to cultivate the crop and harvest it. Yes, peasants also had to cultivate the which thing? Cultivate the crops and harvest. The harvested indigo crops. Which crop? The harvested indigo crop had to be given to the planters. Yes, This was known as the Roti system of the cultivation. Yes, indigo, Roti system of the cultivation. Now students, just look at this question. What were the drawbacks of niche cultivation? So as you all of you know about the niche cultivation, where the planters produce indigo in land and that he directly control. So he either bought the land or rented it from the other zamindar and produced indigo by directly or employing hired labor. So the drawback, you can say that the planter found it difficult to expand the area under. Yes, it is very difficult for planters to found it expand the area. Then labor force was not easily available. Labor easily available नहीं थे. Niche cultivation on a large scale also required many plough and bullocks also, plugs and bullocks also, and for this investing on purchase and maintenance of plugs was a big problem. Fine. Now students, just look at the next question. Here you can see, why did the demand for Indian indigo increase in the late 18th century? Britain began to industrialize by the end of 18th century. When did Britain begin? Yes, at the end of the 18th century. As a result, its cotton production expanded dramatically. So this created an enormous new demand for cloth dye. As you know कि cotton production expanded dramatically, so for this created new demand for cloth dye. While the demand for indigo increased, its existing supply from the West Indies and America collapsed for several years because of some reason happened that time in West Indies and America. So the supply from West Indies and America were collapsed. For this, between 1783 and 1789, the production of indigo in the world fell by half. How much? Yes. Cloth dyes in Britain now desperately, yes, from which cloth dye were in Britain now desperately look for new source of indigo supply. That's why you can say that demand for Indian indigo increased in the late 18th century in Britain. So student, for today that's it. Thank you all of you. Have a nice day ahead.